Hey YouTube, this is Prometheus giving you a much requested defensive scheme. I've got some subscribers that have reached out to me and said, hey, do you got any defenses that work well for you? And I really have only found one defensive scheme that works consistently for me when I'm playing online. This is not a great defense to run with Mutt, I would say, probably because it's a kind of a defensive scheme that you want to have the players to be able to play it. And basically what I do is I'm using a baseline defense. I always go ahead and play conservative on play ball when attacking the ball, conservative on option, and then tackling I'll use aggressive. I find that I get occasional fumbles with aggressive, so those are the settings. This is going to be the 34 odd is the primary defense, and I'm using a mixture of cover 4 drop, cover 2 shells, cover 3, and then basically rolling the safety down. So the key to this defense is showing your opponent the same look all the time. So one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to basically go ahead, spread my defensive line out, pinch my linebackers in, and that's going to give me a back pocket blitz against my opponent every time that I know is consistently get in the backfield if I choose to send it. Now, how I like to set up my audibles is the following. My top audible, I like to use the cover 4 drop. That's one of my base defenses I'm going to use. I want to go ahead and make sure my opponent knows that I've got drop defense I'm going to hit him with. And then the Tampa 2, I'm going to switch into basically the pinch 2. Which is an aggressive blitz version of it. I can take those edge pressure guys and put them in drop zones. And then typically with the cover 3 shell, I like to use a buzz zone cover 3. I didn't set this up correctly because I was running out of time. So when I'm still trying to set my defense up, I'll just jump into a cover 4. That way I know I'm not going to give anything over the top, and I'm just going to kind of give my opponents the same looks. I know I'm going to have really good run fits like this. So that's why I have that cover 4 as one of those base defensive shells, because if they go ahead and no huddle, then basically what I can do is I always have that blitz that I can attack my opponent with. So in this type of situation, I use a blitz. I cloud flatted my outside defenders, so if he did a quick out, I can actually have a cloud flat out there. And now look at this. This is the first series of the game, and I've got this guy in a 4th and 25, and I'm going to jump into a coverage adjustments, which is sticks out of that cover 4 shell. Everybody drops back 25 yards to defend the sticks, and then I've got those deep blues defending everything over the top, and that's going to basically take things away from my opponent. So just like that, I get him in a blitz situation. I just keep him contained, and in that type of situation, he actually goes. He gives me a turnover on downs. So back at the coverage again, just a basic cover 4. Sometimes I'll adjust the zone drops, but for the most part, I kind of leave them default, and I'll adjust to what my opponent's doing. Sometimes I'll take my cloud flats and put them at a stock 25, because then I can go ahead and take my outside zones and put them at 25-yard step. This is a really good read by this guy. He saw the running back, the defender didn't play it correctly, dropped it down and picked up a first down in that type of situation. And here what I wanted to do is basically go ahead and set up my last cover 3 shell, and the shell I do like to do is that buzz shell, just because it puts my safety that I'm using, which is going to be flipping this play and using this rolling safety man coverage, and I'll basically use it as safety. So back to the cover 4. I'm still trying to feel out this guy's offense. He throws into basically 4 defenders, so he's not reading the field correctly. He doesn't really know what to do with this. Now, when I looked at this guy's record on Draft Champions, it's just like the first time he jumped into it. So I don't know how good of a player this guy is or how bad of a player he is, but right now he jumps into a bunch wide formation, and I try to dial up a blitz against him. In this type of situation, he reads it correctly, hits the guy underneath, and actually goes ahead and gets a first down. So I started, I started chasing after this guy, going after this guy a little bit too much. Should have stayed in the coverage because he was having difficulty reading the coverage. So that's one of the things you have to kind of make the decision if the person's going to read things correctly. So right here, he basically gets a nice completion with a guy that was a spot route that was just sitting in the middle of the field, and he sits down here. No huddles again, and I think this is where I went ahead, another one of these aggressive man blitzes. The problem with the man blitz is that if you don't have your guys in line correctly, you can get yourself out of trouble. It's a high risk, high reward type of a blitz. I got to take the guy over the middle, but he has I think an out or whip route on the left side, and he's able to go ahead and get a touchdown off of that particular play. So this is the only 7 points in this breakdown that I actually gave up against my opponent with this my opponents with this defense. Otherwise, they just completely struggled against this 34 odd defense and how I run it. So free safety blitz is my base play. I like to call it flipped. What I'll do is I'll bring that safety down, and then if I'm just trying to feel out my opponent or just make them make reads, I'm just going to go into jump into like basically a cover 4 shell. So once again, right here, he throws right to the middle, but because I had that roll safety down, he wasn't far enough down, and he actually got in his passing lane, mess up his read, I get in a touch, another turnover on downs right here. So back to the free safety blitz, once again, rolling defense. He's got about 17 seconds left on this. He's in a situation where he's down by 2 scores, and he's going to move the ball down pretty aggressively. And instead of jumping out of this defense, I stay in it. Now, one thing I want to say is if you put your defensive end on a bluff blitz next to the running back, he'll carry over and carry that route. So what happened is, see, he was watching that running back. That messed up his read because there was a defender out there, and he basically didn't know where to go with it, so he smartly got rid of the ball and threw it away. So that kind of threw him off a little bit with his reads with that bluff blitz. So that's just another thing you have in your back pocket. If you got a guy that likes to throw to the running back a lot, just bluff blitz your defensive end, and he's going to go ahead and play that route. Now, one thing I do want to point out to you is that if your linebackers are not close to the edges, they're not close to the tackles, don't use an all-out blitz. Because basically the blitz is not going to get home quick enough, and it's going to give him enough time to be able to make a read down the field. So that was an error that I made on my coverage adjustment there. In that type of situation, I probably should have stayed away from that. So 6 seconds left. This guy should have basically kicked it. There was no reason for him to try to score a touchdown. I guess he was kind of like, just struggling. He hits the corner route right there, but even if he caught it out of bounds, I don't think he would have got out of bounds. And after that, basically this guy he basically quit out against me because I just milked the clock in the second half. So here's my next opponent. This guy's got over 200 victories in draft champions. So this guy plays this game a lot. He really struggled with this defense. Once again, base defense, basically playing the ball, aggressive tackle, and then conservative against the quarterback, the option. And then what I like to do is I like to take my top audible and just drop it into the cover 4 drop. If I'm just setting everything up and I get enough time, I'm just going to jump into a cover 4 drop and just play ultra conservative with the cover 4 drop. He drops it down. This guy makes a really good read underneath, twists the ball up, he gets the first down. No huddles. So that's one of the reasons why I like this defense, is that now if I have a situation, the guy no huddles, I want to kind of slow up his momentum, I can blitz everybody after him, especially if he does these play action routes. You can see he's got nowhere to go with the ball. He actually misthrown it. That could have been an interception in that type of situation. So 3rd and inches situation, I want to go ahead and set up the rest of my defense. So I'm using that pinch cover 2 blitz and then the cover 3 I'm going to be jumping into basically that bluff blitz. But if I don't have my defense set up correctly, I'm going to make sure I go ahead and default on that cover 4 if I'm just not feeling it. I can't set it up. Now here's another setup. Is a man setup right there. Pressure comes in. This guy seriously had an issue with the pressure I was sending after him. He had no response to it. Here's the cover 2 version of it. It's a 4th and 9 situation. I believe I played the sticks in this, and the guys all dropped up to the line of scrimmage and basically didn't move. They didn't go anywhere, but you'll see the corners actually pulled in on the edges and pulled in a little bit and then came back. He had a nice little concept. He had an in and an out route, and he was able to go and pick up a first down. But my defenders were there. It wasn't like a broken coverage completely. I probably should have jumped in cover 4 in that type of situation. 4th and 9, let him beat me over the coverages, not under it. He's not going to be able to get under. So a 4th and 9 type of situation, 4th down and long type of situation, you probably should want to jump into cover 4. So once again, just setting up my defense against this guy. He's trips formation, trips tight end. I actually didn't set up my defense correctly, so I just went into basically a man shell. I didn't know what to do against him because I didn't have the right defense. I get a nice little block shot off the edge. He doesn't even get to throw the ball away, so he gets lucky with that type of situation. So back in a 2nd and 10, he's coming out of a doubles formation. And I'm once again, one of my base play, I call it, is the free safety blitz. Is going to show him a cover 3 shell, and that guy comes down to the safety, and I'm going to have basically my coverage is playing a lot of different things. So once again, go after him. Look at this. I get a tipped interception and take it into the house right there for a touchdown. So this guy, the pressure comes in so quick that they have to defend it. And if these guys like to run like 5 or 6, if they like to run 5 4 wide receivers, because I'm throwing 7 or 6 people or 7 people at them every time, it's just such a difficult defense to play against. So going back into cover 2, it's a 2nd and 15 situation. And I'm just going to go ahead and play coverage against them. I went with cloud flats in this type of situation just to see if I could defend her outside. He makes a good read. He read it and actually fell forward for a first down. So it was a really good read. So he no huddles. Once again, this seems to just be one of those type of defensive strategy or offensive strategies as people do. They go into a huddle. They'll give you a lot of time to set it up. He throws right into my defender out there and he actually catches the ball right in front of my defender and gets a first down. So he's got some Madden love going his way right now. That ball should have been picked off. That should have been a pick 6 going the other way, but that's fine. I got the defense. This guy really doesn't have that much of an answer for it. Now I jump back into a man blitz. I'm going to go ahead and bring down the safety just to get that 8th person down in the box. I really got it because he's got so many people down there. He's got running backs. He doesn't know where to go with it. He throws it up. I'm able to click on and get another interception against him just because he's just winging the ball up. This guy has got over 200 wins in draft champions. He's won several titles and stuff like that. So this guy knows what he's doing. But he's just got no answer for this defense because he's probably so used to people playing a lot of coverages that he's not used to a lot of really aggressive blitzes. You can see this guy comes right in the hole. He catches him off guard. Another sack there for another 8 yards. And now, if I want to, I can just jump into coverages and just catch him off guard with coverages. So right here, I take my outside defenders and put them in purples just to try to mess up his reads a little bit. And I've got those cloud flats on the outside. So that purple's out there to defend that guy, and that kind of caught him off guard a little bit. So now we're in a 3rd and 12 situation with the defense. I don't know exactly what I did. I think it stayed in that cover 4 shell against him, and basically I'm just in a cover 4. I just want to make him make decisions, and this was a really good read right over the middle. Got a first down in that situation. So they had kind of a levels concept going out to the left and had the back route and hit that. So this guy knows how to read things. He's doing, he's making good progressions and reads when he gets the time, and he's scrambling outside. But this is what happens when I send the pressure at him. He doesn't know what to do with it. When I'm sending 8 people at him, conceptually, he has no way to react to it. So what's cool about this high pressure defense of this 34 odd is that he basically, he's got that clock in his head. He's like, I gotta get rid of this ball. I gotta get rid of this ball. So anytime I jump into another type of coverage, it's just gonna mess him up a little bit. So basically, I took off the defaults, went with basically a cloud flat out there, and you can see the pressure keeps coming in. So he doesn't really have much of an answer for that. And this guy's not running the ball against me. I'm throwing 8 people in the box. I've got run fits galore. So that is another challenge that he's having a hard time. So right here, he spreads me out, spread offense, running back in the backfield. I'm going to go once again with the pressure. I've got basically a cloud flat out there. I've got to man the guy in the seam. Hope I don't get beat. He actually does a little crosser. I'm out of position, but he throws over the top, and I pick him off once again for another interception. So this guy really doesn't have any kind of an answer whatsoever. I get to score another touchdown in this situation. So I'm up by 2 scores. He's got 1 minute and 31 seconds left. Now he completely spreads me out. He's like, okay, I gotta get rid of the ball quick. I can't have guys in the backfield because I'm getting destroyed in the backfield. So he makes a good decision and actually spreads the ball out here. I actually go into a man blitz, and then I check out of it. I'll go into cover 4 really quick because I didn't like that. He's got a little trail route right there that he hits. I'm able to go ahead and knock the ball out afterwards in that type of situation. 3rd and 4, basically a minute left in the game. Now I think he goes with a 3 tight end set. I'm not worried about that. I've got a really stacked front. This is actually one of the better decisions. He plays a route with the underneath. I'm going with a man blitz and basically have a hook zone right over the middle of the field. He actually hits the running back route on the outside. So they gave him enough time because of the way that offense was set up that he can hit that little route with a running back and he picked up the biggest yard. So that was probably one of the best decisions he made, but he never came back to this play. Now he goes into a bunch wide set, Y flex, and once again, I'm just going into coverages, and right there, he actually breaks the tackle, gets the ball down to the 18-yard line. No huddles, so I'm prepared for no huddle because of this defense. I can jump into any kind of a shell that I want just to catch him off guard. Right here, he doesn't know where to go with it. He actually goes and send a spy, but because I've got another guy that's fall back in coverage, he throws into basically double team. As a result, I pick him off, and he has nowhere to go with it. So with that, he quits out. So once again, guys, thank you for your support. This is how I run my 34-odd defense. You want to go and take a look at that. I'll show you some more gameplay, but thank you for your support, guys. Until next time.